My father is a real estate tycoon with a net worth of billions. Ma Dong is unwilling to enter his own company. Instead, they chose to open a waste station in the suburbs of Beijing. Just because I activated the 10,000-fold amplification system myself. Every day, there is an opportunity to generate explosive growth rates through receiving goods. You purchased 100 pounds of waste paper. You obtained 10,000 times the critical strike. You obtained 1 million pounds of waste paper. You purchased 100 pounds of plastic. You received 10,000 times the critical strike. You obtained 1 million pounds of plastic. You purchased 100 pounds of brass. Obtained 1,000 times the critical strike. Obtained 100,000 pounds of brass. Various types of waste are increasing. The business is also getting bigger and bigger. Ma Dong's father said, I didn't expect my son to earn more money from collecting waste than I do in real estate. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. Recycling is the only way for young people. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In a factory building in the suburbs of Beijing. A young man is running a waste station. This is the waste recycling station that he just took over. On weekdays, there will be countless elderly people driving their small tricycles and carts of waste here. Whether it's waste paper in daily life. It's still plastic. Various metals. You can exchange for plain money here. At this time, Ma Dong had just settled the goods of an old man. A full tricycle. Selling something for several hundred yuan. The old man's face showed a faint smile. And Ma Dong's face showed a faint smile. Just because a charming voice rang out in his mind. Recycle 150 kilograms of waste cardboard boxes, 220 kilograms of waste plastics, and 18 kilograms of waste aluminum. Trigger a 100-fold critical strike. Obtaining 15,000 kilograms of cardboard boxes is equivalent to 7.5 tons, 2,200 kilograms of plastic is equivalent to 11 tons, and 1,800 kilograms of aluminum. It has been stored in the system warehouse. Please retrieve it within 3 days. If it is not retrieved within the specified time, it will be automatically destroyed. Sure enough. Collecting waste is the only way for young people. With this golden finger, it's invincible. Originally, Ma Dong came from a wealthy real estate businessman's family in Beijing. But it didn't happen. Triggered the system a month ago. When Ma Dong proposed to his father to start his own business, his father felt very pleased. But when I heard that Ma Dong wanted to open a waste recycling station, Ma Dong's father was also startled. Later on, I thought about it. I think Ma Dong just casually became interested. By then, as long as Ma Dong realizes the difficulties of this industry, it will automatically choose to give up. And then he went with him. Ma Dong watched as no one outside came to sell scrap for the time being. Directly silently entered the system. I saw all kinds of items stored inside. Neatly arranged together. Ma Dong's heart was filled with joy. Although I have had no advantages in food and clothing since childhood. But who would despise having too much money? In the eyes of others, things here are garbage and waste. But the amount of waste has reached a certain level. That is also a considerable wealth. However, Ma Dong has not yet extracted the item. Every day, I wait for a few employees to finish work. Ma Dong closed the door before extracting the things. To prevent anyone from discovering the existence of this system thing. Mainly because there are too many waste products in the capital. No matter how large the amount is every day. Others think it's normal. After finishing lunch, Ma Dong began to calculate an account. For the past half-month, Ma Dong relies on the system in hand. I have already made a lot of money. Ma Dong has just finished accounting. We haven't waited for the customer to enter yet. Xiao Wang, a salesperson from the waste paper recycling factory, came to our door. Donga, have you had lunch yet? Ma Dong nodded. Xiao Wang is here. Come and have a cup of tea. Ma Dong handed Xiao Wang a cup of tea. Is there anything I can do today? Ma Dong knows that Xiao Wang is a salesperson at a waste paper recycling factory. I have received a lot of goods from Ma Dong recently. And the quality of Ma Dong's goods is quite high. After half a month, Xiao Wang's performance here in Ma Dong has increased by nearly 20,000 yuan. Donga. It's like this. There's something the factory wants to discuss with you. Ma Dong saw Xiao Wang like this. Suddenly, there was some vigilance in my heart. But there was no expression on his face. You tell me. Xiao Wang saw no expression on Ma Dong's face. I also breathed a slight sigh of relief in my heart. It's like this, Donga. The purchase price at the factory has been adjusted today. It costs 30 yuan per ton. Another thing is that quality inspection is required and the goods arrive at the factory. Then, a deduction is made and the payment is settled. It usually takes 3 days. Ma Dong has been working for 10.5 days. Also joined these waste recycling groups. People often share some of the manufacturer's tricks inside. Also pay attention to prevention and inspection. I also know some tricks of these factories. These things won't happen in the first 10.5 days. Basically, payment is made upon delivery and weighing. Now it's not just about card prices. We also need quality inspection. Then deduct a little more. The routine follows one layer after another. Xiao Wang, 30 yuan per ton. How much do I sell to you in a day? You know a car weighs 30 to 40 tons. Sometimes there are 2 cars in a day. Your factory operates like this. I earn at least 1 or 2,000 less per day. It's worth tens of thousands in a month, so I'm just making a fool of myself. Besides, what do you think of the quality of my goods? Your company's senior management is unaware. Don't you still understand why you came to see the goods? Ma Dong's heart is not at all empty. His goods are definitely of the highest quality. Others have added water to those waste papers. Some cheap paper was also sandwiched in the middle of the rhubarb board paper. Come and sell at a high price. And here in Ma Dong, pure yellow board paper is yellow board paper. There's nothing else. Ma Dong doesn't have time to do this thing of adding water. There is that time. Receive more goods. If it were a critical strike, I wouldn't know how many times the amount would be. Xiao Wang also knows that Ma Dong's goods are good. But that's the company's policy. A paper mill can collect thousands of tons of waste paper per day. The amount of flowing water in a day is about several million. Donga. This is also a requirement from the company. I have no choice but to follow the rules and regulations. After listening to Xiao Wang, Ma Dong remained silent. But instead, he picked up a calculator and kept calculating an account there. 15 minutes. Xiao Wang felt extremely uneasy in his heart. I don't know what to say. Xiao Wang, I have a plan. One is for you to accept my goods as usual. Then the price will remain the same as before. The payment will be settled as soon as possible. Another option is for me to sell the goods to someone else. Upon hearing Ma Dong's words, Xiao Wang immediately became anxious. Donga, come on. Didn't we have a good cooperation before? Ma Dong nodded. It was really good at first. But now it's your problem. We need to establish some so-called rules. I like to be straightforward when doing things. I don't like to do unrealistic things. How about you just accept my goods yourself? After weighing them, you give me money. You can inspect the goods as you please. Then you can take them to the factory or sell them to others, and I don't care. But I'm afraid you don't have that strength. Ma Dong's last sentence made Xiao Wang feel a bit tempted. But the only problem is that you may need to put so much funding on yourself. A cart of goods passed by. It's at least 70,000 to 80,000 yuan for the goods. According to the 5-day payment cycle proposed by the factory. Even if the goods arrive at the factory one truck a day, at least around 400,000 yuan will be under financial pressure in 5 days over there. The monthly turnover is about 2 to 3 million. Calculate based on a commission of 2 or 3 points. You can earn between 50,000 and 100,000 in a month. And this is just one station in Madong. Xiao Wang has been working for these years. There are still quite a few customers on hand. And I have also saved a lot of money over the years. Think of it here. Xiao Wang couldn't help but feel a little excited. Chapter 2. Xiao Wang decides to take a gamble. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Xiao Wang's brain began to run wildly. Ma Dong's goods are the most stable he has ever received. And quality control is also the best. Every time I come to collect his goods. After arriving at the company, the price can still be sold higher. Previously, it was Ma Dong who directly connected with the company. So in this regard, it was the company that took a big advantage. But now it's different. I have the opportunity to become an intermediary myself. To make up for such a price difference. When the time comes, all we need to do is identify a family member. After receiving the goods at the waste station in Madong, register as a family member and bank card. At that time, even if it's left hand to right hand, there are also 2 points of commission left. 1 month is considered as the lowest turnover of 1.5 million. At least there will be a commission of 30,000 to 50,000 yuan. Thinking of this, Xiao Wang felt a chill in his heart. Excited emotions surged directly into my heart. Done. Donga. Starting today. I'll take care of your goods myself. Just do as you say. Look at Ma Dong. Xiao Wang thinks Ma Dong's method is really suitable for him. Ma Dong just nodded lightly. Okay. I have a truck of goods here. You can inspect it as you please. If you think it's okay, you can just take it away. Ma Dong pointed outside. I saw several forklifts constantly picking up the received cardboard. Get onto that automatic packaging machine. A large amount of cardboard passes through the conveyor belt, falling into the big pit below. The huge hydraulic machine in the big pit squeezed directly in one direction. Directly press various sizes of cardboard together. So it goes back and forth. 1 hour. It can process approximately 5 tons of cardboard. Because of the existence of the system, Ma Dong's cargo volume is very abundant. Those forklifts work directly from 8:00 or 9:00 in the morning until 5:30 in the afternoon. After the workers leave work, Ma Dong will also stand on a large car to pull away the goods. Then close the door. Then release the things in the system. When the workers start work early the next morning, another warehouse full of things. It can keep them working non-stop. Xiao Wang looked at the huge packaged paper blocks outside. I couldn't help but think in my heart. These are all my own money. A load of goods. According to the current quality control measures, the company will be involved. At least 30 to 50 yuan can be earned from the price given to Ma Dong. Then Xiao Wang also walked out. Go to the packaged place. I looked carefully for about half an hour. Confirm that there are no issues with Ma Dong's goods. Donga. Your goods are indeed without any problems. They are of superior quality. I'll call a cart to pick up the goods. Let's weigh them. Do you think it's okay? Ma Dong looked at Xiao Wang's excited expression. Nodding, he said. No problem. You can call. Let's go inside and have a cup of tea and wait for the car to come. Xiao Wang walked aside and made a phone call to contact the big car. Gradually, there are also some scrap collectors who bring their goods to sell to Ma Dong. When Ma Dong docked the goods, it was very easy. Just because Ma Dong said one thing. Let these people categorize various things. And then sell it again. But Ma Dong added 1 or 2 cents to their price. Weighing and making payments for everything is very simple. During Xiao Wang's phone call, the system also triggered twice. 1 time is 20 times more. 1 time is 30 times. Not too much. Looking at Xiao Wang returning, Ma Dong spoke again and said, Xiao Wang, this time I'm just giving you a try. The most important thing is to see your strength. I start with a daily cargo volume of tens of tons here. You need to be able to handle it. If one day I call you to pick up the goods, you can't handle it. Don't blame me for transferring this business to someone else. Ma Dong's tone is very tough. Because he receives 20 to 30 tons of goods every day. Plus the system's critical strike. Plus dozens of tons. Where is this strength placed? They are not to be underestimated. Xiao Wang, who knows Ma Dong's strength, dare not speak up. Can only nod vigorously. He knows. Big clients like Ma Dong. If it is poached by people from other companies, it should be a matter of time. I am just lucky. I was exposed to it when Ma Dong first opened. I need to do my best. Leave Ma Dong in your own hands. If we cannot compete with others in the end, we can only recommend Ma Dong's strength to the upper echelons of the company. At that time, the company will definitely increase the price to Ma Dong in order to retain such high-quality customers. But even if one's own profits are reduced, a monthly commission of 30,000 to 50,000 yuan is still necessary. Dong Gu, don't worry. I will definitely work hard and not let you down. About half an hour. The cart has arrived at the waste station in Ma Dong. Xiao Wang is commanding several forklifts outside to load goods onto the large truck. After the loading is completed, the weighing position of the large vehicle next to the main entrance. Xiao Wang, this car weighs a whopping 30.6 tons. Are you okay? Ma Dong patted Xiao Wang's shoulder. Dongga. Don't worry. I'll transfer your phone directly to your card now. That's it. Xiao Wang took out his phone and started operating it. Soon, Ma Dong received a transfer from Xiao Wang. After confirming that there were no issues, Ma Dong nodded to Xiao Wang. Dongga. Then I'll go back first. Xiao Wang wants to follow the big car back to the company. Then we need to complete all the processes. The big car quickly started up. Xiao Wang, sitting in the car, began to calculate the cargo. How much money can I get myself? The commission is about 2,000 yuan. Plus, there is a profit of between 30 to 50 yuan per ton. Roughly calculate. The profit plus commission can earn approximately 4,000. And according to Ma Dong's strength, a car load every day is effortless. Xiao Wang became more and more tempted as he calculated. Just Ma Dong is a customer. You can earn 10 watts per month on your own. This is simply the god of wealth. After the big car returns to the company, complete various processes. Xiao Wang received the company's receipt and proof. Confirm that the profit and commission of this car exceed 4,000. It's almost 5:30 p.m. in the afternoon. Ma Dong's recycling station. A cart of cardboard came out today. A car full of plastic has come out. A lot of space has been cleared up. Ma Dong asked the employees to leave. The door was closed. I'm the only one left here. I couldn't help but think in my heart. I see that my waste business is about to expand. I couldn't help but think that the warehouse next to me has just expired. I moved out. The landlord probably hasn't rented it out yet. I plan to rent it out then. Take all the plastic over there in the future. We will use cardboard on one side and plastic on the other. Let's see if we can decide to build another warehouse for that metal, otherwise, it won't be enough. Ma Dong's face was filled with helplessness. After a round of inspection, it was confirmed that there were no issues. Ma Dong released the contents of the system. The empty warehouse was almost full. Then I drove my own car and prepared to go home for dinner. Chapter 3. Ma Dong's father. Ma Jie. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. After packing up, Ma Dong drove his second-hand van and prepared to go home. Although Ma Dong's family is particularly wealthy, there are also many luxury cars. But Ma Dong basically doesn't drive. He is currently operating this waste recycling station. Many people around me don't know. Because of his family's wealth, doing something else is much more upscale than opening a waste station. Ma Jie also feels that speaking out doesn't bring much face. It's just Ma Dong's own momentary hobby. Make a fuss. I think Ma Dong won't be around for long. I won't do these inconspicuous businesses anymore. After a half-hour drive, Ma Dong finally returned home. Just arrived at the entrance. The new security personnel were just about to come and stop Ma Dong's car. But I saw the gate open directly. Because the license plate recognition passed, Ma Dong activated his own bun and drove it straight in. The new security guard Li Gang looked dumbfounded. In his impression, they all live in this place with wealthy people. This type of van is usually used for decoration or transportation. Usually, it's after registering with their security guard. The security personnel only opened the door for them to enter. Li Gang. What are you looking at? What are you staring at? The captain of the security team walked away from Li Gang, and his words had just finished. Li just came to his senses. Captain. I see a van just drove in. Whose van is that? People living here. Do you still need to drive a van? Li Gang really can't figure it out. You should know that one house in their community costs tens of millions. People with this value. Starting with good cars that cost hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars. There are registered vans here that can be driven directly in. It's really his first time seeing him. You care so much. You don't understand money being capricious. Besides, their company built this place. What's the problem with driving a van? Li Gang only realized the origin of this small van when he heard the captain's words. A moment of effort. Ma Dong's van arrived at his doorstep. Just walked into the doorstep. I saw a table full of dishes ready. Mom, I'm back. My son is back. Wash your hands and eat quickly. I just finished the video with your father. I'll be home soon. More than 10 minutes later. Ma Dong's father Ma Jie has also returned. After finishing their meal, the family sat on the sofa drinking tea and watching TV. Dongya. How are you today? If you feel tired of opening a waste station, don't do it. Our family doesn't lack that little money. Can't you go to our company to help? Ma Dong's mother thinks it's a bit inappropriate for him to run this waste station. Thinking of persuading Ma Dong. Mom, I'm not tired of running a waste station. I even earned over 100,000 yuan today. Upon hearing these words, Ma Jie became unwilling. You're just bragging. In your industry, you can earn a maximum profit of 3 to 500 yuan per ton of goods. You need hundreds of tons of goods to earn 100,000 yuan. Can you open a waste station to handle hundreds of tons of goods per day? Although I am not in this industry. But at least the situation can still be understood. You think your parents don't understand arithmetic. Although Ma Dong is telling the truth. But parents don't believe it at all. Because they had no idea that there was a system on Ma Dong's body. Ma Dong has no choice. Although he can rely on the superior conditions of his family to do some other things. But there's no such thing as a system that comes so easily. A critical strike of several tens of times. Sometimes even hundreds of times the critical strike. This is like winning a big prize in a lottery. But who understands the feeling of not being able to share it with others? Mom and Dad, don't worry. I'll give it a try. Anyway, if I don't like it by then, it won't be suitable. I'll go back to my dad's company and work. That's okay. Well, that's pretty good. What are your plans next? Ma Jia heard Ma Dong's words and felt that this kid should have realized the difficulty of starting a business. I'm planning to rent the empty space next to the place I'm renting. I'm going to use it to store plastic things. The current space is no longer sufficient for me to store goods. What? You've been working on it for about half a month now. You're ready to expand your scale. How much money have you just made? You just want to continue investing in it. Ma Jia couldn't figure it out. Yeah, Dad. You don't even know. There's just too much inventory every day. When I came back today, the warehouse was basically filled with goods. Today, I sent a truck of paper and a truck of plastic. We just shipped out the goods. There's also a lot of goods coming in. There's nothing we can do. There's so much waste in this area of Beijing. We can't even finish it. I asked today. The unused space next door is just right for storing plastic. The annual rent is 600,000 yuan, plus water, electricity, and artificial machines, etc. It's about 1 million yuan per year. That's not too much. If there are too many metal items, I plan to create another place specifically for storing various metals, machines, and appliances. After Ma Jia listened to Ma Dong's words, wrinkled his brow. No, no, no. Your industry itself doesn't have much profit. It's not cost-effective for you to invest so much money in it all at once. I estimate that the money you've earned since opening is only around 100,000 yuan at most. You haven't even earned back the money you invested in the beginning. You're investing so much money all at once now. Do you still have money? Ma Jia means if you don't take money from home. Does Ma Dong have that much money himself? Dad, don't worry. I can handle my own affairs. I also have money. Maybe I'll work for a few years. Then I'll have more money than you. Ma Jia didn't say much when he saw Ma Dong speaking wildly. Just smiled and pointed his finger at him. After resting for a night. Early the next morning. Ma Dong finished breakfast at home. I drove out to my own waste station. It was only 8:30 a.m. when we arrived at the waste station. The workers only come to work after 9 o'clock. Ma Dong opened the door directly. Drive one of the forklifts up. A few large machines have all started running. Push some cardboard directly onto the conveyor belt of the large machine. The machine quickly started working. When the workers come to work after 9 o'clock. Ma Dong has already cleared out a large area. Ma Dong got off the forklift and asked the workers to drive it. I sat back in the small room. Prepare to welcome the new goods for today. By the way, start planning your future plans. Chapter 4. Expanding Scale. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. 10:30 a.m. The first customer came to visit. It's an old man. Ma Dong watched as the old man drove the tricycle in. There isn't much in the car. Grandpa, do you have something to sell? Yes, boss. I just received a large motor. It's too heavy. It happens to be too close. I want to sell it first. After hearing the words of the master, Ma Dong, I saw a large electric motor on top of the tricycle. It doesn't look big. I got started, but it was really not easy. Grandpa, how did you get up there? It's not light. I asked the person who sold the goods to me to help lift it up. But it took us a lot of effort. Ma Dong nodded. Okay. Let's weigh it first. The old man drove the tricycle directly to the designated location. Once it's done, drive directly to the scrap area. Let the little brother driving the forklift help to get it down. Then drive your own tricycle back to weigh. Ma Dong glanced at the display on the scale. This motor actually weighs 110 pounds. Grandpa, this motor is really not light. It weighs 110 pounds. Let me give you 250 yuan. Ma Dong took 200 yuan bills and 150 yuan bill and handed them over to the master. The old man was also extremely happy when he took the money. He received this motor for 150 yuan. It doesn't take half an hour to get it for 100 yuan. Okay, that's good. It still depends on your price. I'll go collect the goods today. I'll sell them to you after I finish collecting them this afternoon. I'll leave now. Go and collect the goods. Ma Dong nodded. Grandpa, please drive slowly. If you have any goods, just pull them over directly. Grandpa's tricycle just walked out of the door not long ago. Ma Dong received a prompt from the system. Recycle 1 waste motor. Trigger a 10,000-fold critical strike. Obtain 10,000 waste motors. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 10,000 times the critical strike for the first time. The system rewards an upgrade once. The system will enter the upgrade phase in the next half hour. No critical strikes will be generated. Ma Dong was also very excited when he heard the system prompt. Since the activation of the system, at most, it's a few hundred times the critical strike. The first time a 10,000-fold critical strike appeared. Surprisingly, it's on an old motor. I didn't expect it. And the system will also need to be upgraded. This was completely unexpected by Homadong. Ma Dong calculated it, the type of motor I just received. 80% is made of iron. But the motor inside contains copper and magnets, among other things. Those things are valuable. A 110-pound object. The value is at least between 300 and 350 yuan. Directly hit 10,000 times. It's equivalent to spending 250 yuan on something. Directly turned into goods worth over 3 million yuan. Ma Dong felt a little excited at the thought of this. Half an hour later. The system upgrade was successful. Ding! The system has been successfully upgraded. Entering version 2.0. Due to the host triggering a 10,000-fold critical strike for the first time. From now on, the triggering probability of host recycling increases by 10%. And there is a 30% chance of triggering the effect of automatic refurbishment of old items. Upon hearing the system's analysis, Ma Dong felt a bit restless. I thought the system's trigger critical strike was already impressive. There is still a 30% chance of triggering the automatic refurbishment effect of old items. This is an amazing feature. Take the motor just now as an example. If 10,000 times the critical strike is triggered the automatic refurbishment effect again. That's not the price of a used motor anymore. But rather the price at which second-hand motors can be used normally. In terms of price alone, at least doubling it would be more than enough. Ma Dong hasn't been excited for too long yet. The phone in hand rang. Hello. I'm Ma Dong. The voice of a middle-aged man came from the other end of the phone. Hello, I'm Lao Li. Didn't you say you wanted to rent my warehouse yesterday? I've already arrived here. I didn't see you. It turns out that the owner of the neighboring warehouse has arrived. Yesterday, Ma Dong thought of renting out that area as well. Used specifically for storing plastic and other items. After all, my current system generates too much waste from critical hits every day. The place is simply not enough. Oh, Lao Li. I'll come over now. Ma Dong walked out directly. Lao Li, who was waiting outside, saw Ma Dong and walked out of his waste station directly. I was also somewhat surprised. Oh, it's you, young man. Didn't you just rent this warehouse for a while? Ma Dong nodded. Yeah. I just want to separate cardboard and plastic. I'm planning to rent your place for plastic storage. It's also convenient to take care of. Lao Li knows it. About half a month and a half. Ma Dongkai rented this warehouse. Now I want to expand the scale and rent his place. An idea arose in my heart. Either the Ma family has money. Invest in him. Either it's easy to make a profit by collecting waste. A large quantity of goods. Fast turnover. It's amazing, young man. You're young. This business is so big. Uncle Li praised it. In the field of scrap, it's just a matter of quantity. Once there is no quantity or the goods cannot be received, it's difficult to handle. Lao Li nodded. I opened my own warehouse directly on one side. Ma Dong glanced a few times. No problem. The main reason is to be next door in one's own place. It will be easier to manage then. Okay. There's no problem, Uncle Li. Let's sign the contract directly. Just follow the price mentioned yesterday. Lao Li's place is the same size as the one Ma Dong is currently renting. The rent is also 600,000 yuan per year. The market price is neither too high nor too low. Pay monthly. 2 months of deposit and 1 month's rent were directly transferred to 150,000 yuan. Okay. Young man, you're also happy. Then, Old Li, I wish you a prosperous business. I'll give you the key. Lao Li received the money. I feel very happy. Ma Dong opened the gate. Then I contacted the advertising brand on my phone. Then I went back to my own waste station next door. Take advantage of lunch time. Everyone, listen up. I have already rented out the neighboring area. Someone will come to sell the goods next. Put all the plastic products over there. The warehouse here only stores cardboard and metal. Several employees were also a bit surprised when they heard Ma Dong's words. They come here to work. Except for the small quantity of goods in the first few days. Other times. Every day when I enter, I see a warehouse full of goods. No matter how long the forklift is driven every day, there is always work to do. Ma Dong reacted to the expression on the employees' faces. Continuing to speak. Everyone work hard. This month, on top of your original salary, you will receive a bonus of 2,000 yuan per person. If you do well in the next few days until the end of the month, I will pay you on a full month basis this month. Plus the bonus. Ma Dong's pancake made several employees show surprised expressions directly. You should know when he first came to work. It's not the first day of the month. Some came on the 5th or 6th. Some even number 7 or 8. It's equivalent to only about 20.2 or 3 days of work this month. You can receive a full month's salary. Plus a bonus of 2,000 yuan. Thank you, boss. Don't worry. I will definitely work hard. Just let me live here. Thank you, boss. Boss is grand. Thank you, boss. I have nothing to say. The boss just depends on my performance. Ma Dong saw the faces of everyone. Well, okay. Let's eat together. After dinner, take a break. Continue working in the afternoon. Ma Dong finished his meal and returned to his small office. Around 2 p.m. Several employees started working. In the afternoon. Triggered several more critical hits. 1 time is 50 times. 200 times at a time. One time is 500 times. Ma Dong discovered. The triggering rate seems to have increased now. Many times before, it was 10 or 20 times higher. The time in the afternoon of that day. The 3 packaging machines in the warehouse are working non-stop. Ma Dong also arranged cardboard for 2 large trucks. Let Xiao Wang take it away. 2 large trucks of plastic were also arranged. The plastic factory is relatively simple. There are no tricks involved. In a state of long-term high demand for goods. Take the car to the factory for weighing and inspection. Basically, the payment will be made before the end of the day in the afternoon. We also arranged a truckload of metal. The metal factory is more direct than others. Because these metal goods are even more scarce. Basically, the payment is made directly upon weighing at the factory. I'm just afraid you might have some dissatisfaction. I won't give them the goods next time. A daily income of several 100,000. It's also delicious. And today's several critical hits. The value of the obtained goods is several million. Unfortunately, this painful feeling can only be borne by Ma Dong himself. Cannot share with others. Chapter 5. 3 sets of brand new packaging machines. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Early the next morning. Ma Dong just arrived at the way station and sat down for less than 10 minutes. I heard 3 big trucks coming from outside. I took a look. It turns out that the 3 sets of packaging machines that were ordered yesterday have arrived. Ma Dong, who just rented out the warehouse yesterday, is preparing to buy several packaging machines. The current system's daily critical hit volume is really too large. The original 2 sets of equipment are no longer sufficient for use. Prepare to use the original device to compress paper. The new 3 sets of equipment are working hard to compress plastic and other things. Ma Dong originally intended to build a shredder. But later on, I thought about it. More land is needed. Another issue is inadequate environmental protection. If it's just a simple compression. I won't say much about this environmental aspect. If it's crushing and cleaning these. It requires environmental protection requirements. If it does not meet the standards, it will be directly shut down, for unnecessary trouble. It is still most cost-effective to choose a packaging machine directly. Save time and effort. There are also 2 small cars following the car. A person like a manager got off the passenger seat of one of the vehicles. The rest are personnel wearing work clothes. Manager Chen immediately recognized Ma Dong. Half a month ago, Ma Dong brought people to install and test 2 packaging machines. I didn't expect to suddenly receive a call from Ma Dong last night. Say if we build 3 more sets of equipment. This makes Manager Chen extremely excited. After all, this kind of large equipment. It's really rare to buy 3 sets directly at once. The key is that it took Ma Dong half a month and a half to purchase 2 sets. Boss Ma, we've met again. You're really young and promising. In just half a month, your scale has expanded again. Manager Chen spoke as he spoke. Holding Ma Dong's hand on one side. Manager Chen, you're welcome. Your machine is still working well. Can you help me arrange for installation and debugging to be completed today? I want it to be put into use today. No problem. I have brought 7 or 8 staff members with me this time. I will arrange it for you immediately. Please check where the machine should be placed. Can you please let us know and we will arrange the work immediately. Ma Dong led a few people to the prepared positions inside. The staff quickly directed the large truck to use a forklift to remove the equipment. Then start installing and debugging the machine. In just over an hour. The first set of equipment is now ready for normal use. By lunchtime, the second set of equipment had also been debugged. After finishing lunch, The third set of equipment has also started debugging. At around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The 3 sets of equipment have finally been completed. Boss Ma, take a look. These 3 sets of equipment have been completed. Do you think it's necessary to have the staff cut and test the machine? Ma Dong nodded. Signal one's employees to drive a forklift to transport the goods onto the conveyor belt of the machine. After compressing a package of goods, I pulled it to the weighing area and weighed it. It weighs 800 to 900 kilograms. Look at the size and speed of packaging. Ma Dong is quite satisfied with it. Okay. No problem, Manager Chen. I'll transfer the remaining money to you immediately. Ma Dong made the payment happily. Manager Chen is naturally happy. A merchant who bought nearly 1 million devices in half a month. It's really rare. Manager Chen also understands that such high-quality customers need to be vigorously recruited. Boss Ma, you're so refreshing. If you need anything in the future, feel free to contact me anytime. My phone is on 24/7. Watching Manager Chen's smiling face bloom, Ma Dong felt a bit amused. Okay. No problem. If we add more equipment later, I will contact you. Okay, Mr. Ma. Don't you think about crushers? Our company also has those equipment for sale. Manager Chen still wants to expand the business. After all, he is aware of Ma Dong's cargo volume. It's a pity to say something as simple as dry pressing. He is very clear about this profession. The shredder is the thing that is making big profits. Just Ma Dong and these packaged goods. It's the people who do the crushing to take it away. Hand over once. Make a crushing. There is a profit of at least 300 yuan per ton. A car has a profit margin of nearly 10,000 yuan. If we can persuade Ma Dong to take down a few pulverizers, my own performance can add a lot of color. I can also improve my position in the company. After all, their industry is also very competitive. Manager Chen. Crushing these concerns is related to environmental protection. We need to be particularly cautious in collecting waste and ensuring daily environmental and fire safety. Moreover, crushing will result in a large amount of dust and sewage treatment issues. I don't want to waste that time seeing Ma Dong's appearance. Manager Chen also knows that saying more is useless. If we continue to promote, there is still a possibility that Ma Dong will be disgusted. Okay, then let's go back first. After Manager Chen and others left, Ma Dong looked at several running equipment for a while. 3 devices are simultaneously powered. A few hundred tons of plastic goods can be sorted out in a day. Otherwise, there won't be enough time to clean up the plastic in the system. If it were to be automatically destroyed, it would be a huge loss. Ma Dong just sat in the small office. Suddenly remembered yesterday that there were still 10,000 motors that had not been processed. Silently entered the system. System. Can these motors be disassembled separately from various materials? Ma Dong casually asked. A possible host. Ma Dong felt a bit unhappy at this moment. Why didn't you say it earlier? I used to create so many devices and let employees work on them for half a day. How much time is this wasting? Ma Dong's anger has no effect on the system. I only received a cold response. Host, you didn't ask again. It has been completely disassembled. Remember to give it a 5-star rating. Looking at the system filled with a bunch of hardware parts and scrap metal. Ma Dong is in a good mood. One afternoon's time. The system triggered several more critical hits. Ma Dong looked at the increasing amount of waste. I think we need to accelerate the speed of shipment. Relying solely on the past is really too slow. Then I opened an app called Douyin on my phone. I directly filmed a video. Add another paragraph. Large quantity in stock. Powerful factories bring your banknotes to pick up the goods. Then I put up my location and contact information. Chapter 6. Mobile Message Burst. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. After Ma Dong finished speaking Douyin, he ignored it. It's almost time to finish work at 5.30. After all the staff have left. Ma Dong closed the gate. Various goods were extracted from the system and placed in the warehouse. Today's time of the day. Ma Dong sent 2 carts of paper. 3 cars of plastic. There is also a car full of metal. Xiao Wang can't bear it anymore. He took a cart of cardboard from Ma Dong. The remaining car of Ma Dong asked employees from another factory to follow Xiao Wang's way. Including plastic. Ma Dong also operates in the same way. Weigh, pay, and drive. No money has been credited to the account. No pick-up allowed. The personnel who came to see the goods were also aware. Ma Dong's goods classification is really good. It's much better than others who are messy and adulterated. Bring this kind of goods back to the factory. You can sell at the highest price directly. They also receive a lot of commission. Ma Dong is just getting ready to get in the car and go home for dinner. I saw a lot of information sent from the Douyin app on my phone. All displayed are manufacturers recycling metals. Due to the recent impact of international market conditions, the transaction prices of various metals have reached new highs. Once the raw materials rise, the factory requires a large amount of scrap metal to be reprocessed. This can save a lot of funds. Otherwise, simply buy new raw materials. That cost is much higher. The profit margin has relatively decreased. Once profits decline, the stock prices of those listed companies will also fall along with it. As soon as the quarterly financial report is released. That would be too uncomfortable. Ma Dong has just returned home. I saw my mom running over directly. Son, I saw your Douyin. Your waste station has been doing so well lately. It has received so much goods. Ma Dong nodded. Yeah. I've already made a few million. You guys don't believe me. Alright, son, stop bragging. But remember, just take a video. Don't take your profile picture inside. Otherwise, others will know that you are collecting waste. Your father and I will be too embarrassed. When someone asks, I won't be able to say anything. Ma Dong was speechless as he looked at his nagging mother. After all, this kind of thing is definitely not a problem for ordinary people. The key is that one's family is not short of money. Doing this industry on your own is a bit beyond others' imagination. Just as Ma Dong finished dinner and returned to his room to brush his phone, discovered that the message on the phone was broken. What's the situation? Why are so many people texting me? Ma Dong opened it and was completely speechless. Originally, it was a video posted by Ma Dong today. Many people have seen it. People who are not familiar with the phone above only feel that it is a call from a waste collection station. Ma Dong's acquaintances and friends couldn't sit still. At first, I felt like Ma Dong's phone number. Unexpectedly, after some confirmation. It's a solid hammer. Ma Dong suddenly remembered that he should have directly obtained a new number. Now it's ready. No need to hide it. Ma Dong. I knew it was you. You secretly went to start a business. But why are you running a waste station? I can't even think of it when my hair turns white. Ma Dong. How come you're in this business? It's too hard. You can't make much money. With your family's conditions, it's easier to do some other business and earn money faster than this. It was all sent in an incredulous tone. Ma Dong directly edited a message and replied uniformly. That's right, it's me. Ma Dong responds to the country's call. Join the Army of Environmental Protection. This group of people are foolish and come with money quickly. If you want to join me quickly, take out your money and invest in it. It's not a problem to make a few small goals for you in a year. A bitter smile appeared on Ma Dong's face. Who understands? Make so much money every day. It cannot be shared with others. After Ma Dong's words were sent over, some acquaintances and friends around me feel that Ma Dong is just joking. I just casually talked about some things that I didn't have. In their hearts, they also think the same way. It should be Ma Dong who invested in a waste station. Be the boss behind shareholders. Usually, I just go check the accounts and so on. I shouldn't personally end up doing these tiring tasks. I haven't finished replying to everyone's messages yet. When Ma Dong saw his phone, someone transferred money to him. Take a glance. It turns out to be a little sister who has been following behind her since childhood. Qin use poetry. People who make medical products at home. We also run several private hospitals like that. The family's assets are also in the billions. The little princess at home. I have been playing with Ma Dong's buttocks since I was young. He also said that when he grows up, he will marry Ma Dong. Every time Ma Dong thinks of it, he finds it funny. Ma Dong directly clicked on his profile picture to enter the chat. Xiao, why did you transfer money to me? A cute and adorable sound came from the phone. Brother Dong, I want to invest in you. You don't take me with you when starting a business. I am now requesting to invest. Don't play with Xiao. What I'm doing now is a waste recycling bin. Do you understand? If it spreads out, let people know that your Qin family princess invests in a waste station. What will people say? I dare not accept your investment anyway. If you don't accept me, I'll keep transferring money to you. Ma Dong looked at the transfer on his phone. Each transaction costs 50,000 yuan. It is estimated that Qin Yusher's bank card pen can only transfer 50,000 yuan. Okay, I'll take it. I'll take you 200,000 yuan. Let me leave it with you for now. How about giving you 10% of the shares? Thank you, Brother Dong. Just give 1% as much as you want. As long as you invest, that's enough. I'll go to your waste station tomorrow to find you. After Qin Yusher finished speaking this sentence, he immediately hung up. Ma Dong also had a helpless expression on his face. Who can understand the little girl's thoughts? After dealing with the information on the phone, I opened Douyin's app again. There are already over 10 pieces of information inside. People from those factories said they want to come over tomorrow to see the scale and volume of goods in Madong. I plan to engage in a collaboration. Ma Dongyi replied. Just let them come directly tomorrow according to the location. Then he turned off his phone and threw it aside. Go straight to sleep. Early the next morning, Ma Dong finished breakfast. Drive your own small van. Go directly to your own waste station. Chapter 7. Acquiring goods from competitors. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Early the next morning, Ma Dong drove his small van directly to the waste station. Open the doors on both sides. Skilled driving a forklift to move some goods aside. Make some space for the place. About half an hour. Employees start working. Ma Dong returned to his own office. Take a sip of water if you haven't arrived yet. I saw a young man outside who looked like a salesperson walking in. Approaching Ma Dong's window, he asked. Hello, are you the boss? Ma Dong nodded. I am a salesperson at Anyang Iron and Steel Plant. I came across your Douyin, boss, yesterday. Our company has purchased a large amount of scrap iron. I would like to discuss the matter of cooperation with you. Ma Dong didn't expect that the Douyin that was just released yesterday would immediately have someone come to see the goods today. It seems that this market is bigger than I imagined. Our metal scrap is all placed at the back. You can go and take a look at it casually. The salesperson didn't say anything either. Just nod and walk towards the back. In less than 2 minutes. Another salesperson walked in. Hello boss. I am a salesperson from Xinlai steel plant. I would like to talk to you about cooperation. Ma Dong nodded. Pointed to the pile of metal scrap at the back. The goods are at the back. Feel free to take a look. Over 10 minutes. 2 salespeople walked back at the same time. The goods are good. Please write your quotation on this paper. Ma Dong took out 2 prepared sheets of paper. The classification of various metals is written on it. The unit is tons. Let them write down the price. You only have one chance. If your price is not as high as what I am currently selling, I will not cooperate with you. As soon as they heard Ma Dong's words, the 2 of them became a little anxious. I originally wanted to keep it for a while. But now we can only directly quote the highest price offered by the company. After all, the cargo volume here in Madong is quite abundant. 3 minutes later. The 2 submitted their respective orders to Ma Dong. Ma Dong chose the highest price they quoted separately. The price of 304 stainless steel sold at Anyang Iron and Steel Plant is higher than before. It is also higher than Xinlai's quotation. The aluminum alloy quotation of Xinlai Iron and Steel Plant is higher than that of Anyang. It can only be said that everyone has their own gains. The 2 heard that Ma Dong could only sell a portion of the goods to them. Everyone breathed a sigh of relief. After all, their profession. Running business now is really too difficult. The newly opened waste station generally has a small cargo volume. It is difficult to find goods of a scale like Ma Dong. Usually, it takes a long time to achieve this scale. At this moment, an employee from Anyang Iron and Steel Plant said a word. Make Ma Dong instantly enlightened. Boss, you have such a large quantity of goods here. There must be many peers shipping to you below, right? Ma Dong heard this sentence. I couldn't help but think of something in my heart. That's right. Why don't I accept goods from my peers? It's just flipping the left hand over the right hand. It's okay if you don't make a penny. There is a possibility of critical strike behavior when receiving goods. Once a critical strike is generated, that is tens or hundreds of times higher. This is much more than slowly receiving these old men and women's goods. You're very good. You're excellent. Ma Dong smiled and said. You want to pick up the goods now? Let's wait until this afternoon to call a car. Boss, our company has sufficient strength. You can make money by weighing directly. You don't need to do it in the afternoon. Just do it now. I'll call a car and see what you think. Boss, our company's strength is not weak. I will clear all the goods from you. It's not a problem. Weigh and pay. Ma Dong also knows that these large factories are not short of money. The market value is generally in the tens of billions. And they are all listed companies. Every day, receiving goods casually is at the level of tens of millions. Just charge a few million. Everyone feels like they're going to lose money. Okay. Then you can call a car. The car is here. I'll have the employees load the goods onto the car for you. The 2 heard Ma Dong's words. It was also a sudden surge of energy. Make a phone call directly and ask the large car we usually cooperate with to drive over at the fastest speed possible. After all, if the goods arrive late, we have to wait for someone else's car to be installed first. When someone else's car arrives at the company, your own car may only have finished loading the goods. And these salespeople. I rely on my own business to walk in the company on weekdays. Being able to deliver goods beyond natural costs. All positions have been established. After contacting the large vehicle, directly call the senior personnel. After taking videos and photos, ask them to wait until they receive the message and make the payment as soon as possible. Just as two salespeople were busy, Ma Dong directly posted a message in the recycling group. Recycling various waste products. The price is high. If you have stock, just bring it over. If you need it urgently, come to me. After posting it, Ma Dong directly posted his location. Many people in the group exploded directly. Boss, I have 3,000 to 4,000 kilograms of metal here. I have everything. Can I accept it? Boss, I have 3 or 4 tons of cardboard here. The delivery has been slow lately. I also need some money. Can you accept it? I have already packed them all. There is a variety of information in the group. Some are all plastic. There are various types of industries available. Classify it yourself. Then bring it over. I'll save some labor on my end. I'll give you a higher price. If it is a unified sales model. At the low point of the price. Pay for clearing the goods. Xiao Hai is a person who drifts north. I have been in Beijing for several years. I opened a waste station myself. Not very large in scale. But the goods have been a bit tight lately. Not big enough and unable to sell. I have asked some colleagues for lower prices. Once the goods cannot be received, they will have to pay for 1 day's rent and personnel costs. In addition, some goods need to accumulate to the same amount before the factory can receive them. He felt like he was about to lose support. Donga. I have thousands of kilograms of iron here. Can you accept it from your side? If you accept it, I'll pull it over. Received. It's just iron, isn't it? That would be great. You can directly weigh it. Later, Ma Dong quoted a price. It's only 100 yuan per ton lower than the price I sold to the factory. It can be said to be a reasonable high price. Xiao Hai looked at Ma Dong's quotation. I feel like it's too cost-effective in an instant. This price is suitable for small waste stations like him. That's too friendly. It's slightly lower than the price I sell to a big factory. But the key is that you don't have to pressure so much of the goods before making a move. Okay, Donga. I will arrange for the loading to be carried over to you right away. Several colleagues came to contact Ma Dong at once. Ma Dong made the most like Xiao Hai's model. Bring a cart of a single variety over. Even a few £1,000s are still accepted. The price is not low enough. This way, it is also convenient to receive and store goods by oneself. Many people feel that the quotation provided by Ma Dong is cost-effective. The waste industry. What is needed is to take action at the fastest speed possible. Take the money directly into your hands. I also save a lot of space myself. After replying to the messages and private messages in the mobile group, the large truck called by Anyang Iron and Steel Plant has arrived first. Ma Dong directly asked the employees to load the goods onto the vehicle for them. 15 minutes later, the big car has already been half loaded. The truck from another steel plant just arrived at the station. We can only wait patiently for the installation of the large vehicle at Anyang Iron and Steel Plant before proceeding. 1 hour later, the large car that arrived later has also been loaded. After passing the pound, Ma Dong received the money from their company. All right. You can go too. Come back tomorrow. There will be more tomorrow. Chapter 8. Miss Chen's Arrival. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. Ma Dong just delivered 2 large carts of goods. Get ready to walk back to your office. Suddenly, a fiery red sports car flew over. Stably stopped at the entrance of Ma Dong's waste station. It startled everyone present. Ma Dong turned around and glanced at the driver's cab. The glass in the driver's cab was pulled down directly. Expose a face that is truly stunning. Sure enough. Beauty, do you have any scrap to sell? We recycle a lot here. Ma Dong spoke in a joking tone. Brother Dong, please take my car and sell it according to the weight of scrap iron. All right. Don't joke anymore. Come with me quickly. Qin Yusher obediently ran to Ma Dong's side, directly rubbing Ma Dong's hand against his body. Ma Dong couldn't help but curse in his heart. Doing such a thing in public. It's really not good. This shouldn't be done secretly in a deserted place. Just sat down. Ma Dong looked at her with a strange gaze. I didn't expect Miss Qin to look better and better. Ma Dong suddenly caught a faint aroma. You smell so good on you. Qin Yusher felt a bit embarrassed and Ma Dong said 2 sentences. Brother Dong, you will make fun of me. How did you think of coming to my place today? It's a bit messy here. I'm a shareholder. I'll sign the documents. Okay. But this is just a waste station. It's not a company. How about I give you a 10% stake? Okay. That's settled then. Later, Ma Dong and Qin Yusher chatted there. It's just that I can't figure out why Ma Dong wants to engage in this industry. But when I saw the quantity of goods in Ma Dong's warehouse, I also feel that this industry is a bit promising. If it comes soon, it can be explained. After all, even if it fails, it doesn't matter. When the time comes, it's okay to go home and inherit billions of assets and become a wealthy young master. Just when the two of them wanted to chat again, a 3.7-meter truck drove straight in. Boss, my car is all waste paper. It's all yellow boards. I just contacted you in the group. Ma Dong saw someone coming to sell goods. And one car is a big car. Such a quantity of goods. Compared to those small tricycles, it's like one day at a time. Then Ma Dong looked at the electronic monitor. The weight above. Then they drove directly across to the unloading area. This truck has the function of unloading goods. It won't take 2 minutes to clear the goods. Drive back to the weighing area. Ma Dong calculated the weight. Then scan the code directly over. Thank you very much, boss. Tomorrow I will organize some plastic to sell to you. Ma Dong nodded. Remember to categorize the best category yourself. This is also convenient. After the driver leaves, a sound was emitted from Ma Dong's system. Recycle 23,000 kilograms of yellow cardboard. Trigger 500 times critical strike. Obtain 115,000 kilograms of yellow cardboard. Ma Dong heard the news coming from his mind. I picked up the computer and pressed it once. This car has a critical strike. I earn nearly 1 million yuan purely myself. Qin Yu's poem. Do you believe it or not? I made 1 million in this car. Qin Yusher heard Ma Dong's words. A smile bloomed on my face. Brother Dong, don't tease me. How much does this car cost? Make 1 million yuan. I still believe in making a few hundred yuan. After all, in the understanding of Qin Yu's poetry. 2,300 kilograms of goods. Even if 1 pound earns 2 cents. There is also a profit of over 400 yuan. How could it be possible to earn 1 million? Just as the words fell, another 4.2-meter truck drove straight in. Boss, the car is full of scrap metal. The truck driver shouted. Ma Dong just needs an employee standing outside to connect directly. I sat in the office and looked at the electronic monitor. Then he pointed to the location where the scrap iron was stored. Let the truck driver drive directly over. The truck driver is also an experienced driver. I am very familiar with this field. Drive directly to the waste iron storage area. Open the rear carriage door. Ask Ma Dong's employees to help him unload the goods. His car does not come with a built-in unloading mode. All require forklifts to help. It won't take more than 10 minutes to get it done. The cart returned to the weighing position. Ma Dong cleared the price and directly scanned the code to transfer it. Recycle 3,000 kilograms of scrap iron. Trigger 500 times critical strike. Gain 1.5 million kilograms of scrap iron. Qin Yu's poem. Do you believe it or not? I earned 2 million on this car. Qin Yu heard Ma Dong's words. Laughing and directly covering his stomach. Don't tease me, brother Dong. I just had a car worth 1 million. This car only has 2 million. Robbing money is not as fast, is it? I have 10% of the shares. According to you. I earned 300,000 yuan. You can make money faster than opening a hospital at home. The Qin Yu family has a great business. Mainly in the medical field. There are also several private hospitals. The money earned every year is tens of billions. That's not that exaggerated. But it shouldn't take too long to achieve. Then more than 10 cars arrived. All of them are goods pulled by peers. There's no way. Over the years. The waste industry is too difficult to do. Especially when the quantity of goods is not large, it is even more difficult. Ma Dong discovered. Since Qin Yu's poetry arrived. The critical strike generated each time is 500 times. There is no other change. Watching more and more goods in the system. Ma Dong feels like he needs to find more places to expand his business scale. It's time to finish work at 5:30 p.m. soon. Ma Dong and Qin Yu have made an appointment to have dinner together. The two of them found a restaurant they used to frequently go to and had a romantic candlelight dinner together. Then we went shopping together. Watch a movie. Wait until the movie ends. It's already midnight. Cough cough. So what? It's a bit late. I'll take you back. Ma Dong spoke with a slightly unnatural expression. Qin Shiyu walked all the way holding his hand tonight. As a normal man. I couldn't help but have some ulterior motives. Donga. It's okay. After finishing Qin Yu's poem in one sentence, his face was scorching hot. Upon hearing these words, Ma Dong. Looking at the rosy expression on her face. I couldn't help feeling a little excited in my heart. He even couldn't believe what he heard in his ears. Without saying a word. Holding Qin Shiyu's little hand. I walked directly into the nearby Dongjiang Hotel. Chapter 9. 50 tons of cargo in a day is in dire straits. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. One night of high-intensity exercise. Almost killed Ma Dong. That evening. There are too many surprises for Ma Dong. I glanced at the sleeping little beauty beside me. Ma Dong hugged her directly in his arms. Qin Shiyu saw the appearance of Ma Dong. I couldn't help but laugh out loud. Do you still have to go to work today? Qin Shiyu shook his head. No. I don't want to go to work today. I have to stick to you. Really? Ma Dong was stunned for a moment. Then she laughed contemptuously. After a morning exercise. Ma Dong must admit one thing. Qin Shiyu's physique is quite good. 1 hour later. The two finished breakfast at the hotel. Then Ma Dong drove Qin Shiyu's small sports car and set off. Go to your own waste station. Halfway. Brother Dong, are you planning to keep running this waste station like this? No. I'm going to buy some scrap stations today. The quantity of goods in this industry is very large. However, there are not many people who can make money. Once you earn more and business improves, the landlord will come to raise the rent. To be honest. Ma Dong didn't think too much at first. I just want to have the system in hand. Play around casually. But it didn't work out. Since he posted the receipt of goods from his peers. Only then did I discover the fun of this industry. To be honest. If it weren't for the system in place. Based on Ma Dong's current cost investment in daily earnings. After calculation, it is still a loss. Quickly, Ma Dong drove to a large packaging station near the capital city. Ma Dong contacted the boss yesterday. They said they were coming to talk about cooperation. Brother Ma, you're here. Welcome. This is my younger sister, isn't she? She's really beautiful. Old Dong has been a senior for a year. The industry of dry waste has been going on for 10 or 20 years. He took Ma Dong and Qin Shiyu to stroll around his own packing station. Old Dong, the volume of goods at your packing station is not small. Ma Dong saw forklifts coming and going. I took a rough look. Yes. The quantity is not small, but the key is not to make money. I'm here now. My main focus is on the waste cardboard. I can produce about 50 tons per day. In other words, there are also about 10 tons. But you also know. The profit margin of this cardboard is too small. Sometimes it only earns 350 yuan per ton. To be honest, I don't even want to do it anymore. I can do some other business casually. It's not easy to make a profit of 30 or 50 from one thing. Look at this package of goods. It's about 1 ton. It's just that much money. I can't even think about it. No one believes it even when I say it. Lao Dong started the roast mode. He admits that he has done a good job in his field. I also made money a few years ago. He has been in the capital for so many years. Being able to buy a house or a car all depends on this business. But not now. The current main market price is too low. I can't walk anymore. The profit margin is decreasing. He has considered giving up on this profession. I have some money on hand. Go do other business. I feel that it will be much better than this. Based on the current market situation. It's difficult to make big money. Plus, the current rent will have to increase again. He feels tired. In Ma Dong's opinion. These are not issues. After all, he is a person with a dog system around him. Give a random critical strike. 1 ton becomes 100 tons. Just buy it for a few 100,000 yuan. Old Dong, I want to purchase the goods from your waste station. What do you think? Old Dong was frightened by Ma Dong's words. Suddenly, a sentence seemed to surprise him. The young man in front of him seemed even more powerful than he had imagined. Brother Ma, what are you saying? Although my waste station has a large amount of goods, I really don't make much money. You should know about this industry. Spend a lot of money to acquire it. I'm afraid you'll lose in less than a year. To be honest, I still rely on the money I earned before. I'm struggling to support myself. Upon hearing Old Dong's words, Ma Dong also felt that this person was okay. Listen to my thoughts. I think you've been in this industry for so many years. The supply is stable. It's just a good price difference, right? Old Dong instinctively nodded. After receiving your goods, you pack them and sell them to me. I will send you a price list every day. If you think I am suitable, you can sell them to me. Payment on delivery. There is no need for a turnover period like a paper mill. I guarantee that my price can be 50 to 100 yuan higher than the factory's profit margin. Old Dong suddenly became confused. What operation is this? I completely don't understand. The price is even higher than that of a paper mill. This is something he can't figure out no matter what. But if it can be settled in cash, who can resist it again? 50 to 60 tons of goods per day. At least 100,000 to 200,000 yuan in financial turnover. I can get it on the same day. Isn't this kind of thing fragrant? Ma Dong looked at old Dong with a dull expression. I feel like his brain's CPU is almost burning out. You don't have to think about what I'll do. I just have one requirement. The goods must be precise. It's about the details. The cardboard part. The yellow board must be yellow. The rest are miscellaneous boards. The same goes for plastic. Each compression pack must have only one classification. That's no problem. I'm afraid your funds won't last long. I can't even figure out how you're making money at this price. Ma Dong smiled as he talked. You don't need to worry about this. Anyway, you can start arranging some goods today. Let's work together first. If you think it's okay, we'll come back later. I will charge you 100 more per ton based on the market price for cardboard today. A car will go over. You can earn an extra 3,000. At this moment, old Dong's heart screamed wildly. Oh my goodness. Help me. Is this because my old friend has met the god of wealth? After discussing cooperation with Mr. Dong. It's almost noon now. Brother Ma. You take care of me so much, Mr. Dong. I must arrange to treat you to dinner at noon. No need, old Dong. You can arrange to bring the goods over. I have other things to do this afternoon. Just this. Don't you make me feel guilty. It's okay if you feel sorry about it. If you think our cooperation is possible, please help me introduce a few bosses with bulk orders to collaborate with. I'll save some time and not have to run around, don't worry, that's necessary. I will definitely introduce some powerful bosses to you later. Subsequently, Ma Dong and Qin Shiyu left Old Dong's waste station. Old Dong in the waste station looked at the two people who had gone far away. An involuntary sigh. He's really young and promising. I just don't know how he makes money. Is he trying to lose money and dominate the market? I can't figure it out. I can't figure it out at all. The sports car drove halfway. Qin Shiyu also couldn't understand Ma Dong's operation. Brother Dong, can you make money by doing this? Ma Dong glanced at Qin Shiyu's delicate face. Don't worry. Our business will definitely grow bigger and bigger. Qin Shiyu heard Ma Dong's words. It's also brainless. Next. Do we still need to go to other waste stations? Ma Dong shook his head. No need. Today we're just throwing bricks and jade. As long as the old director and we cooperate well, in a few days, there will be a large number of capable bosses coming to cooperate with us. There's no need to worry about the problem of supply. Right. Brother Dong, you need to expand your business. Is the money enough? I still have 30 million yuan in savings. You can make additional investments. Qin Shiyu. I knew you loved me. Okay. Then quickly turn around. I want to eat this bowl of rice hard. Chapter 10. Questions of the Paper Mill. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Time quickly arrived half a month later. Since the collaboration between Ma Dong and Lao Dong, many powerful packaging station owners near the capital began to find Ma Dong. There's no way. Old Dong is too pretentious in front of them. They only found out after inquiring. It turned out that Old Dong had the god of wealth on his stall. For them, selling goods to anyone is selling. The key is to settle Ma Dong's money in cash. And the receiving price is higher than what factories on the market charge. In an office of Beijing Tianlong paper industry, salesman Xiao Li is reporting his work to the manager. Manager. Recently, many waste stations in Beijing that have cooperated with us have sold paper to another waste station. I can't figure out the reason behind it. The manager also felt incredulous upon hearing Xiao Li's words. According to normal circumstances, The best operation is to directly dock the goods from the waste station with their factory. Why would it be sold to others? Can you elaborate on it? It's like this. There's a scrap station. They are now purchasing a large amount of various scrap products. Moreover, their purchase price is 50 to 100 yuan higher than our factory's daily quotation. But this is obviously unreasonable. Then he sold the goods to us as a person. I privately asked the owners and employees of those waste stations. They couldn't figure it out, but they paid for it in cash. Many waste stations are willing to sell it to him. The owner of this waste station is called Ma Dong. Currently, he can provide our company with approximately 300 to 400 tons of goods per day, about 10 large trucks. And he not only supplies our company. I have checked. He also supplies several large factories near the capital. The daily volume of goods is very large. The manager looked at the materials submitted by Xiao Li. I can't figure it out either. It doesn't make sense. According to this situation, he sells us goods every day. He will lose 10 to 20,000 yuan himself. Add another company. Is this Ma Dong doing charity, burning oneself? Illuminating the factories of our paper industry. At this moment, the manager and Xiao Li's brains were running rapidly. I can no longer find a suitable reason to explain this issue. Although it's a bit strange. But after thinking for a moment, the manager spoke up and said, "Does he have any special requirements for the goods he sells to us?" Xiao Li shook his head. There is a requirement for selling this product to any company, which is to settle the payment as soon as possible. However, his product classification is very careful. It belongs to the highest level of goods. Unlike the previous ones that were sent over, everything is mixed in. His products belong to AA+ and top-notch. Such a good thing must be taken. As long as his goods are good, they can save a lot of time and labor costs by coming to the factory. For a large factory like theirs, it is an excellent thing. Take a look and get in touch with this boss. Increase the amount of goods received from him. See if he can agree. Well, go ahead and get busy. After Xiao Li leaves, the manager took Ma Dong's information to the chairman's office. Knocked on the door of the chairman's office. Then he explained Ma Dong's situation. The chairman looks exactly like Xiao Li who just reported to him. Are you talking about this person named Ma Dong? He charged a high price for everyone else's goods and then sold them to us at our quoted price. And his inventory is still very large. Do you want to settle it in cash? Yes, Chairman. I didn't understand at first, but on second thought, it doesn't matter to us. His words are not yet finished. He's burning himself. Illuminating us. The only problem now is if he takes away all the nearby waste station's goods and resells them to others. It's a problem for us. And it's a big problem. What is our current maximum daily consumption? Chairman, if our factory is fully operational, we can consume 5,000 tons of waste cardboard every day. At least 2,000 tons are needed to maintain the normal operation of the machine. If it falls below this amount, we will lose money. After listening, the chairman pondered for a moment. It's not enough for you to send Xiao Li to get in touch with them. The level is too low. Based on the current situation, you must go and explore this relationship. Additionally, the waste stations near the capital are in this situation. There is basically no hope left. Send more manpower and go to several surrounding cities and regions to purchase goods. Otherwise, this person named Ma Dong. If one day they suddenly stop selling to us and we can't receive the goods, then we'll lose money. The manager didn't take this statement seriously. Chairman, this shouldn't happen. He has been losing money under such circumstances. He shouldn't be able to hold on for long. The chairman shook his head. It's also good to do a little more preparation for everything. Look at those new companies, such as Huang Tuan and Xiao Chishu. Those who didn't lose money to seize the market at the beginning and whose customers are in their hands later. They have to the final say everything. There will be various ways to make money. Although I can't guess his next move now. But if his goods account for more than 30% of our company's receiving ratio. That's a dangerous signal at this moment. Ma Dong had no idea what the situation was. He only knows. Your system's critical hits are too terrifying. His waste station is filled with goods every day. Since the scrap station until now. In just about a month. The money he earns is unmatched by others in 10 years. He is already looking for a new venue. After dismissing the manager. Wang Tianlong, the chairman of Tianlong Paper, picked up his phone. Sent messages to the leaders of various paper industries. The big shots ultimately decided to form a group. See if you have any good ideas. On the other side. Ma Dong saw a good factory area online. A large factory area with nearly 50 acres of land. Brand new. Can be rented or sold. If sold, the price is 40 million yuan. And near the capital, it belongs to another city. But the distance is not too far. The only downside is that there is no subway. The transportation environment is very average. Relatively remote. For others, it is an unfriendly thing. But for Ma Dong, it is a good choice. The more remote a place is, the better. 40 years of factory ownership. Equivalent to a cost of 1 million per year. It's really cheap when calculated. Ma Dong decided to take control of this place. Drive over every 3 days at night. If it's faster. Going back and forth is just over an hour of time. Release various waste goods from the system through critical strikes. And currently, several of our own waste stations are responsible for connecting with goods from piers near the capital.